Hey.
Listen. Them they talk this, they talk that. Them say stop this and stop that. If you no buy dog, you buy cat. If you no key fly, you key rat. Your relationship never Snapchat.
Welcome back to Viva Africa 2019. We're on episode 28 and in studio we have very frustrated Nigerians. But before we get more on their thoughts, we have a DJ here. I'm even afraid to say his name. People might say I want him to introduce himself.
What's your name?
DJ Nat.
DJ?
Nat.
Nat. How is it spelled?
N-U-T-T.
Nat. Okay. Interesting. What made you think of that DJ name? Because it's a very unique one.
Just a nickname was given by friends.
Because you're nuts.
Yeah, on the decks, yeah.
So where can people find you? What kind of music do you normally like playing?
I play anything goes. I play at a club called Club Edge. We are doing renovations, but we are reopening with DJ John Falme, Cream de la Cream, and Chris Darling on second. So you guys are welcome.
Okay, and have you been watching the African Cup of Nations?
Yes, I have.
Who are you supporting tonight and for the final? There are only 2 games left.
Nigeria.
And on Friday?
Still yet to decide.
Okay, so. There you have it. Mike, it's so interesting to see that a team that has reached the semi-finals, they might actually come in third, are considering it a failure. Well, for a lot of Kenyans, beating Tanzania for us was already a success. That's why we're like, we've done what we came to do.
But you can see the expectations. That's why we always talk about you have to dream big. They know the sweetness of winning the Cup of Nations. They know the pride that comes with it. They know the bragging rights that are there when you're called the African champions. And it puts focus on your country in terms of football. They might not have the best infrastructure and everything else, but scouts will come to scout for that talent, to look for that talent, because they say if this group of players made it to be Africa champions, it means where they came from, there is more. So they'll come and look for those players out there. So the benefits are immense. So for us beating Tanzania and coming back, I mean, it still puts us in the same position. Nobody will come and say, I'm going to look for talent in Kenya. As much as we might have a lot of talent, nobody will say, this is a place to look for talent. Because they say, yeah, there are flashes in and out, yes, but I don't think, I will not focus there. They'll even go to Madagascar now. Because Madagascar beat Nigeria, they go to this level, let's focus there.
Mike, let me tell you something that is very, very annoying, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah? Something that really pains me. In fact, let me remove my cape, so that I can express myself very well. You see, a population of over 200 million, and a country that actually literally worships football, where we have natural talents like Nigeria. When you are being selected to represent the country, you should know it's a do or die affair for you. This is the only time that your patriotism is tested. You give 101% at every point in time. It's not like AFCON is our birthright per se, but because of how we follow football religiously and the abundance of talent that we have in the country, it is very sad that the measure upon which we discover our players, or we get our players to the national team, the incidents getting to that point, it's very faulty. There's corruption in the system. You know, there's I don't want to say tribalism, but it's there. Because I can tell you for a fact that we have more quality players than what we turned out in the AFCON.
So you guys have the same problems that we're having. I can tell you the biggest discussion today online, I think if you've looked at it, is one of our players who played at AFCON. He came back 8 days ago, all right? This is John Avere.
Yeah.
Very good striker. I mean, he made all the difference when he came back, when he came as a substitute onto the pitch. He's been written a letter by the Federation to go back to Nigeria, to Egypt, I beg your pardon, as a fan. So, the heated argument by the journalist is that there is no fun. He's not going as a fan. He's going to sign a professional contract that is not been declared. And whoever is taking him there is a known agent, football agent. So you put 2 plus 2 together and see what's there. So the discussion of selection has come back. That did we carry deserving players to the Cup of Nations, or was there undue influence? Yesterday we had Kenyan fans here, and they said, no. We think the best squad was selected, there was no interference and all that, but the debate has come back. 8 days after Kenya came back, the debate has come back. So how much influence do we have, especially in Nigeria, because we're talking about the Super Eagles? How much influence does the federation, the NFF, have over the technical bench, where Roy is told, by the way, whoever you pick, 1, 2, 3, 4 must be there?
100%. 100% influence from the NFF. And that is the problem with the Nigerian football. You don't allow people get into the team based on merit. It's just a couple of persons there where I would say, okay, they actually deserve it. But the bulk of the players, I can tell you by fact, some of those players are not qualified to be there.
Okay, do me a favor. Let's open up the Nigerian squad there. I want to see these players that we are saying are not deserved. Because for me, I saw Nigeria play some, especially the game against South Africa. I thought they've come of age. Because winning that game where you know one chance would do it, they picked the chance and they won the game. So how do you turn back and say...
I want him, he should even just come up and start with the players you feel completely deserve to be there. Fill in who you feel deserved a place.
Who you think deserve to be there, then on the remaining ones, tell us who should not have been there.
I bet you should not be there.
Now, you see, for... you see now, if I were to pick for the goalkeepers, the only person I would probably pick here would be Francis Uzoho.
True.
Not because he's too good, but because we don't have, in the absence of anybody right now, he is our best goalkeeper. And because of his height, because of the kind of league he plays, he actually plays in the Spanish Primera, not the main league per se. This is one player that I will actually, when it comes to the goalkeeper, but unfortunately we do not have any options back here. So that was why they went for Akpeyi. And if you know what that name means in Nigeria, that name, I don't want to say, but let me just let me not go there. It's PG. This one is called Akpere basket. You know, basket has holes, like holes around it. So any shot that goes to the net just goes in directly. So he's more of a basket. So he was just a figure standing there. He doesn't know anything. And then for the right fullback, this is one place I thought we had very good options. Yeah, we were spoiled with options in this place. We had Olaina, who could have done wonderfully well. Unfortunately, he wasn't put there because we had a very good replacement in not Collins. We had Chigozie. Awazim. Where is he now? Okay, now for the right fullback, that is, we have Olaina and Chigozie.
You got it right. The coach got that spot.
That was okay. We didn't have any problem there. In the left fullback, we had Jamil Collins, who did very well as well.
He's on that side.
Jamil Collins, he did very well. Then in the center, in the defense, we had Kenneth Omero, who, although he's prone to errors here and there, but every now and then, but he has come of age. He's really done well. From the under-17 to the under-20, under-23, he's been very, very consistent. But there's a bit of rustiness in his defense. And I'm sure by the time he goes back to Chelsea, hopefully, he'll be permanent this time around. I don't think he's going to go on loan. He might get that rough edges smoothing out. And then we had William Troost-Ekong. For now, these are the best center defense that we have. I don't think in this part we had any problems with this place here. And then in the midfield, where I thought we had a good options as well. We had very solid midfield. We had Etebo and Didi, who did very well as well. So I had
both of them are here. Both of them is Didi and Didi after.
And then there's
Didi is after.
In Didi.
So far,
up to this point, we're good.
You got it.
Up to this point, we were good.
Okay.
Even up to the attack.
Your thoughts on Mikel Obi coming with the squad? Was he good too?
It's okay. It's okay because he's got a lot of experience. And I thought that Mikel would cushion the effect of the opposing team, right? We are coming with Mikel he did it in Chelsea over 10 years. What he does is that if there's massive intrusion from the opponent, he kind of like cushions the effect. That's what he does. Kind of like stabilizes the team. He's done it with against Real Madrid, against Barcelona. So for me, he was okay. So I'll put Mikel there in the midfield, so to kind of like help the midfield there. Then up front, we didn't have a problem per se, but the problem is the substitutes. We didn't have a very good. And if you're gonna win a competition or a tournament, it all boils down to your defense.
Which players do you feel were brought on? You can even put them in those positions, the substitute positions that you were like, this person should not have come.
Okay, imagine someone like Samuel Kalu shouldn't have been there. Moses has been on and off. He's got serious injury. He's got serious injury. He shouldn't have been there, right? We had Daniel Akpeyi. I would have put him here. Shouldn't have been there. We had someone like Abdullah Isheu. Should not have been there. we have Paul Onuachi. In fact, in Nigeria right now, this guy will be crucified. Trust me, he will be crucified. Because I don't know how much money, if he did pay money or bribed someone, I don't know. I don't know the rationale behind taking this guy to the Nations Cup.
What don't you like about him?
You saw him when we played against Zimbabwe. He was virtually not. He was just more of a passenger in the game. He doesn't have this physique as a football player. He looks like actually like a basketball player.
Actually, he doesn't play like a Nigerian.
Doesn't even play like a Nigerian. He's not robust.
He doesn't play like a
Nigerian. He didn't give us any option whatsoever up front. He didn't score any goal. He didn't have any bite in the attack. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. This guy should never have been there. That's why I kept clamoring for the inclusion of someone like Isaac Success. On what ground was that boy excluded from this Nations Cup? I don't know. I'm still finding it very hard to understand. This is a guy that, I mean, he's been very wonderful with Watford all through the season. He's been very consistent. He's played in Getafe, came to the Premiership and did wonderfully well. So on what grounds would you replace Isaac Success with someone like Paul Onuachi?
Now,
let's hear from this other side.
Yeah?
Let's hear from
Iheanacho. Okay, we talked about Iheanacho. Yeah, we talked.
Bernard, I told you the first day we came that this Onuachi and the other guy, they don't supposed to be here the first day we came. Because why? I told you, I gave you a reason that they're supposed to take Iheanacho to the tournament.
Yeah.
Based on he was there at the World Cup. So it's like a family something. I know this player, I play with this player. It's easier to cope with that player when we don't have this guy, Egalo. So I told you that, like what my brother said, that is the truth of everything. We went there with, I don't know what the coach was thinking. I told you the other day that let us not focus only on these foreign-based players. Sometimes that you are playing a club somewhere does not mean that you should come and play the national team. We can also look for competitive players, people that can compete. You're looking at Madagascar. What happened in Madagascar? Do you know any player there? But they play compact football. They play family football. Algeria is playing a family football. They play compact. They play for each other. Now Nigeria is playing. Agalo is playing for himself. These guys, everybody just want to defend himself. That is the problem. That is the reason why in this tournament, we are not consistent. Something positive at least. It's all been bashing. You're playing against Tunisia. National pride is still at stake. You'll be the third best team in the continent. It's still something to be proud of.
Going to that Tunisia game, I think I can be confident that actually we are going to play for something, actually for pride, to actually, not actually lead the public, the whole national team or the country to just on the side. But we have to actually analyze those things that we see those players play. I feel that if you play a game, probably like our first half, you actually get a tape to look at those loopholes that where you actually. So you look at where can we actually improve. But for that team, you're playing 2-4, two guys who can actually defend and all that. But the creative part in the front, they know as in there's still that space there. So unless we actually look at those players that fit into the team, we mentioned as a success, you get. So those players, if you put them in the right places, you get the right result. But when others are walking and you just strolling this Wobi, so you get bad results and all that. But the top place is here. We hope at least, even though it's 1-0, even though it's just anything, just a win will do to actually bring the morale back. So I believe the guys will actually do the job, knowing that they've received a lot of backlash, because I know that since when they actually introduced all this money and all that, there's distraction everywhere. I have that kind of belief. Yeah. So distraction, you can see that some places that you need to actually pass, you just shoot the ball without considering some things. You get. So it is actually a team game. So but you have that aspect when you have that high expectation. Right. Yeah. So they should improve today.
For the lady there, last time we didn't talk, today you're going to speak. Your game tonight against Tunisia, mixed emotions. A majority of your fellow nationals are saying it's a match that doesn't hold any importance. What do you think? Because it's still your national team.
Yes, the last match was disappointing. We've already established that fact. But I think this match today is also important because we need to bring back our morale and I have faith with today's match that yes, they are going to beat Tunisia.
They wear that jersey you're wearing?
Yes, because of this jersey, especially.
Not the other one.
No, not the other one. They should just wear this one.
My only question would be, there was a lot of promise before the game.
Yes.
I heard of $25,000 per goal, $50,000 per goal.
Fulfilled already.
Did they get the 75,000 for that one goal?
They did.
And is the promise going on? Or this third place match doesn't matter?
It was actually to just encourage the guys to go to the final.
Microphone.
It was just to encourage the guys.
Just on the mic, yeah?
Nigerians only promise, like you see, anytime a Nigerian is giving you money, it's for the final. Even in Nigeria, like our upbringing is very different. We're always looking for number one. Like when you come out from school, the first thing they ask you, what's your position? If you don't say number one, any other position you call is rubbish.
No,
so it's a mentality.
They said from this point henceforth,
I
any
doubt
goal you score.
Maybe if they score 5 goals today, probably they'll give them the money. But that money was to inspire them to score more goals to take us to the final. But now that they're playing third place, maybe they'll give them $5,000. Maybe, probably, I don't know.
Let's get some feedback from our viewers back home. We're asking whether Nigeria will finish on a high. We have Felix Mosham who says, I agree with the Nigerians that Africa need to start believing in their own professional coaches who understand their teams well than foreigners who take a long time to connect with our players. Then we have Ivan Lango says, if they play the way they played against Algeria, then I don't see them finishing third. Tunisia might emerge as number 3 and them 4th. Then we have Brian Munene Wamutini says, Nigeria must win to prove themselves. We wanted a West African derby, but they failed us. So today is a must win. Then we have Shindu Boneface who says, the game is not so important because they are all losers. Tunisia or Nigerian coaches will not take the game seriously. They may even use Team B. Then we have Ian Otando who says, Nigeria had a lot of problems, but they already lost it. They need to concentrate on today's game, and I believe they will squash Tunisia. Then we have Brian Montestioka. The only thing left about Nigeria is the name. I hope today they can really show us what that name truly means. So just keep your views coming in. I want to ask someone, I don't know who will give me an answer to this. For Paul Onuacha, for him as a player, he wasn't the one who selected himself, but as he mentioned, when he goes back home, he'll be the one who'll get all of the flack. Is that fair to the player? When you find yourself in the team, but other people don't believe in you, but when you go back home, you're the one who's getting all the hate.
Okay, personally, I feel like there's a reason why the coach picked him. And from the matches where I saw him play, I feel like he was tactical because of his height. So if we played long balls like corners or free kicks or whatever, he's more likely to win the air balls or whatever. So I feel like that's the only reason why, because I never saw him dribble or so I think that was his use in the team or whatever.
So Bernard, if you go to Nigeria and say you are the brother of Paul and watch, you'll be beaten. If you go to Nigeria and say you are the brother of Abe, you'll be beaten for real. You know, you can imagine how we are crying here. If you go to Nigeria, you see the face of people there. We are not happy because these are silly things we can avoid. Right now, I don't know, inside 200 and something million, only maybe 1 million we watch that match today to show you the extent of our love for the game. Like what my brother said, the passion is high. That number one is there is nothing you are going to tell in Nigeria that we are second, maybe we are playing for third place, somebody will go and watch match because you are playing. No. Well, in fact, even 500, you will pray to see 500 watch that match this night.
Will you watch the match?
If I had the opportunity, yes, I would. In response to your question, I feel if we're a team, we should be a team. Just the same way you have 1% poison in the whole drink, it spoils everything. So yes, he's going to get the whole the whole attack, because it's more like you let everybody down. You get, so in as much as it's football, he should have used his height as an advantage. But for me, if I could watch the match, I would.
Okay, talking about Onachu, I think Onachu, for me, is not an aggressive player. Because, you know, okay, let's say Odion Igalo is trying, yeah, we know. But for Onachu to be the backup striker for this kind of tough AFCON this year, no, he's not an aggressive player. We like what my brother said about Isaac Sosses, Iheanacho. Those are the players that have been there, yeah, we know. And then talking about homegrown coach, yes, you can see, even if you see these two teams that has been in finals, it's from the same their coaches are from homegrown coach. If you look at it, these players are 2004. If you look at 2004 Nations Cup or the teams in 2004, these coaches are players, and they are the captain of the national team then. You see, and they have done a lot of job. They have done a great job. So we should look at that. We can also be thinking about that, going back to our roots and do something, because we did it before. And let Stephen Keshi did it, so we can do it again.
How much influence does the Nigerian public have on what they want? Because I'm hearing a lot of hue and cry, and like you're saying, back at home it's worse. So will the NFF listen to these cries, or will the government listen to these cries and say, look, the fans have called it, let's implement what they want?
It's very unfortunate. The fans have got absolutely nothing, no influence on the team. You can talk from today to tomorrow. That's why when it comes to analysis of football, we just go there and say what we have to say. But when you go to like pubs in Nigeria, when you go to venues where they watch matches, you see everyone in Nigeria is a technical coach himself. They start analyzing games where you like, we should have brought in this, we should have brought in this. But the government doesn't listen. They only do what they like. The NFF, the sports ministry. In fact, from inception, we've never really had a good NFF that listens to the people, or the sports ministry that listens to. There are no clear-cut policies on you know, the progression of players from the under-17 to the under-20. To the corruption itself starts from the grassroots. That's why it kind of like affects even the national team. You see that in Nigeria, when someone get a call up to play for the under-17, unlike in Kenya here, I see under-17, under-20, they're just normal people. In Nigeria, when you're called to play for the under-17, you're like a mini god, you know. In your village, in your environment, you're celebrated, like you're seen like someone who's. So everyone wants to get into the under-17, not based on merit. So we don't have this clear-cut strategy or policies on getting into the national team by merit. We don't have all of that. And that is a problem, because the NFF, the sport ministry don't listen to the people.
Okay, just pause it there.
Time for quick fire, yep. We have money to chop. Did I say that correctly? money to chop. We have Peter from Kakamega.
We did not come to analyze the football. We came to take the same money we took last time. Yeah? You guys deliberately brought the money to 10,000. Please take it up a bit.
So 10,000 Kenya shillings is up. Peter from Kakamega, can you hear me?
Yes.
Do you know, let me just tell you the rules of quickfire. You have to answer 8 correct questions out of the 12 that I ask you, and in 60 seconds, and you get 10,000 Kenya shillings. If you don't know an answer, just say pass, and I'll move on to the next question.
Yes.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, let's have the timer. How many knockout matches were decided on penalties?
The pass.
Which stadium was hosted the most matches?
Cairo International.
How many matches has it hosted? The question is,
Too hot already. Mukabi, as we wait for another caller.
It's pepper soup.
Mike, it's important as much as I can tell the Nigerians don't really value today's game, but let's just remind ourselves in terms of history, the number of times that these two sides have faced off in the African Cup of Nations. We're looking at head-to-head. Do you have a phone call yet? Okay, right. In 1978, at the African Cup of Nations in Ghana, Nigeria won that game, and I want you just to explain why the result was as it is, Mike. The scoreline was written Nigeria 1-1 against Tunisia, sorry. But the game was awarded to Nigeria because after the, I think, 43rd minute, Tunisia walked off. So the game was handed over to Nigeria. So they won that third place playoff. So maybe today, perhaps they would win it, giving in history. But I'm sure the Nigerians do not care much about that game. But it's still a game for national pride. 2000 in Lagos, in Nigeria, when they hosted the tournament, they won 4-2 against Tunisia in the group stage. And then they faced off again in the group stage. And of course, there's a result for the other game. And in 2006, at Port Said, the quarterfinal, they faced off against Tunisia, and Nigeria won 6-5 on penalties. So, Mike, to some extent, history favors the Super Eagles. It's a battle of the Eagles, the Carthage Eagles against the Super Eagles, Mike.
They don't really care about this game. I mean, I'm so surprised. So, should any player that has not played in this tournament be given a chance? Yes. Just to look at, you were one of the 23 among 200 plus million Nigerians to be given an opportunity. So, should they get that chance to play today?
Well, once Abe is not in the goalpost, it's fine. I'm telling you.
What if Onuachu comes out and has the best game of his life? He scores a hat-trick for the team.
That's too late.
Onuachu
should not be there.
What if
they give other people a chance?
I can tell you, we have another backup striker, Victor Osimhen. That boy is very good. He's been playing in Belgium. He's been scoring goals,
okay.
So we know.
1 second. I think we have a caller. Ezekiel from Nakuru. Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you reduce the volume on your telly, please?
Yes.
Mute it, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to ask you 12 questions. If you answer 8 of them correctly, you win 10,000 Kenya shillings. If you don't know the answer to the question, just say pass. We'll move on to the next one.
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Timer, please. How many knockout matches were decided on penalties?
6.
Which stadium has hosted the most matches?
30th June.
How many matches has it hosted?
14.
Which teams will meet twice in Egypt?
Twice. Algeria.
Teams. Okay.
Pass.
How many players scored for Kenya in the AFCON?
Pass.
Who scored the least number of goals for Kenya?
Pass.
In how many stadiums did Kenya play at AFCON?
30th June.
Which group games still have teams playing at AFCON?
4.
Hey. Okay. Hey, Mike, and I don't know if any of you noticed, if people were watching the show yesterday, they would have walked away with the money because I've repeated some of those questions.
Imagine.
Me, I'm nice. I try and give away this money. People don't want it. Only the Nigerians want it.
Guys do not even know how many players scored for Kenya. How many goals did we score? We scored 3.
In one game.
From how many players? 2. Even Nigerians.
Even the Nigerians know.
So tomorrow it goes up to 15,000 Kenya shillings. Bernard, I've kept being asked on Twitter, on Facebook. I'm sure you guys get the same ones.
Yeah.
Whether this quickfire thing is a scam.
Yeah.
It is not a scam.
It's not a scam.
We have a winner here. He won last time in studio. And we had a winner also, Enoch Ngetich. He won on Monday. And I understand that he was not able to come because of the distance, but he sent someone to come and take that money. Enoch Kipkurui will be coming to take the money. His friend, I don't know what relationship they have with Ngetich. You can just have the microphone.
And this is when I actually, he's my one of the first, when I took over from Mike. Kemnetic actually won.
Yes.
I'm trying to give money away. Tombie, how do you know Kepnetich? Amekutumaje?
Kepnetich is my friend from Kuresoi North.
From Kuresoi North?
Yeah.
Do you watch the show as well?
Part-time, because of studies. I don't really watch every time.
Okay. Yeah. So when he told you that he's won money, did you believe him?
Yeah, because I had to believe in.
Yes.
Because the way he explained,
right,
I had to come and confirm on my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he going to give you a percentage of this money now that you've come?
Transport costs.
In fact, you should count.
Count how much it is?
5,000 Kenya shillings.
5,000 Kenya
Anaweza kuwa amekunja chunga Mukami. Anaweza kuwa amekunja moja hapo ndani na kumbe ni noti 3.
So, I hope he's watching from Keresoi North. Yes, Keresoi North.
I'm sure he's very happy now.
Thank you very much. And make sure that you give him the money.
All right.
Thank you, of course, also to Enoch Ngetich for just winning that quick fire Mukami.
Yeah.
Tonight there's still a game, but
People are not.
it's almost the same, Mike. You can have your seat. You can have your seat.
Kaa hapo usitoroke studio. Kaa tu hapa. Tuko na bench hapa. Kaa hapo. Ngo na sisi. Wewe ni celeb leo.
As you're saying, Bernard, this is a game that people are calling a charity match. Someone said this is a charity match, sort of a friendly. So we'll see what will happen. And of course, for football fans who just love football, you can still catch that game live on Super Sport 7. On your World of Champions. They've been giving you all the 52 matches. Tonight is match 51. Tomorrow, second last show, 15,000 shillings up for grabs in the quick fire. Thank you so much for your contribution as well at home on Twitter. Keep writing to us, keep tweeting at us. Let's keep the conversation going off air. Bernard?
Yes, also DJ Nat. Thank you as well for joining us. Very, very, very coy about telling us where the name originated from, but also for the Nigerians, thank you so much. I know you're very disappointed with how the results were, but nonetheless, all the best tonight. Still playing for pride. Mike.
Finishing on the podium is always one of the achievements of any tournament. So, Niger, please don't feel like this is not... We know your standards are very high. As if we finished even 4th. Even in the semis, we would have said it's enough. Imagine we wanted to pack the bus and go. We wanted to pack our bags and come back after beating Tanzania in the second game. So it matters a lot. First time to be there in 15 years. So we have to go back to the drawing board that you say you do not know. As we know our drawing board, we know where we go. So thank you very much for joining us today. Remember, tomorrow, quick fire, like Mukami has said, 15,000 to be won. So we'll see you again tomorrow and have a good afternoon.
The police, tonight we gonna unleash. What have we do to get your love? Girl, I don't give you all I got, but it's not enough for you. Show you fire me catapult, oh girl. Now I be say I don't be getting enough of you. Yeah, waiting me down, nothing I can't do for my baby, my baby. Anytime when you need me, come through. My shawty, wallet. Waiting me down, nothing I can't do. My baby, my shawty, oh, my baby, my baby.